We are at Boulud Sud with Travis Swikert, and today we're talking about cranberry sauce. What are the do's and don'ts of cranberry sauce? Now, obviously, buy fresh cranberries, don't go in a jar, but beyond that, what are the things that can really get messed up when you're making cranberry sauce?
Well, a lot of times you can overcook cranberries and they just turn into nothing. They turn into a puree. So,
yeah.
You know, it's important that when you're building a cranberry sauce that you think about building the flavors first and then adding the fresh cranberries at the end, letting them sort of macerate into the sauce and kind of letting them hit their peak just right as the sauce is finishing, so that you get that, you keep the integrity of the cranberry. Also, you have to, you know, take a look at the ingredient itself and say, you know, what are the characteristics of this ingredient? It's a bit astringent, has strong acid flavors, and then finishes a little bit sweet. So when you're making a sauce, you have to build it around those kind of characteristics. You know, you want to add bitter components, you got to add a little bit of savory components so it's not so sweet, not so acidic. So that's what we're going to do today with all the different sauces, kind of show how we can, you know, manipulate the cranberry and showcase it a little bit.
Yeah, so you are making us 3 different sauces.
You get to see like 3 different components of the cranberry. One's just like showcasing the fresh cranberry, leaving them whole, so you get a nice pop of acidity when you eat the cranberry on the plate. And then the other 2 are kind of, one's a puree and one's kind of a concoction of a bunch of different flavors to kind of make them more savory.
Awesome. Well, can we go in the kitchen and make the cranberry sauce?
Definitely, let's do it. Okay, so now we're in the kitchen. We're going to start off by making a cranberry chutney like I was talking about. This is the more of a savory cranberry chutney. It's going to go great with our foie gras torchon. So we're going to start off with a little bit of olive oil in the pan, medium hot pan. We're going to slowly cook down our onions so they get nice and soft. And once they're nice and soft and translucent, we're going to add our diced fennel to that. I do like 1 part onion and 2 part fennel and slowly cook that down. Chutney normally has a little bit more of a savory component to it, and it's normally a little more tight, closer to a jam. Once that cooks down, we're going to add some sugar in the raw. You're going to let that sugar kind of melt everything together. And as that cooks, everything will start to kind of caramelize together. And then what we'll do is we'll add our liquid. So we add some fresh cranberry juice to the pot and some red wine. Red wine is not super traditional, but I think it adds a great savory component. So that's going to cook for a while, and it's going to cook down by about half. Once that's cooked down by about half, then we're going to add dried cranberries to the mix. And the dried cranberries are going to start to absorb some of the moisture and kind of rehydrate in there a little bit. That's going to cook down for about a half hour until everything's kind of melted together. And then we're going to add apples. These are Granny Smith apples with the skin on. We dice them up. Most of the pectin is found inside the skin of the green apple. So the pectin is what actually gives the chutney the body. At the end of the day, it's about 2 parts cranberry to 1 part apple. So that's going to cook for another half hour after that, just slowly simmering on the stove. And once you have like a quarter of your liquid left, that's when you want to add your fresh cranberries. And once the fresh cranberries are inside, you have about 15 minutes until the sauce is going to be done. So now the sauce has been cooking for about 1 hour and 15 minutes in total. And you're going to have a thicker chutney style sauce. So we like to plate our cranberry chutney with the foie gras torchon. It's great for the holidays. There you go, foie gras torchon with the cranberry chutney. So our next recipe is cranberry BBQ sauce. So we're going to start the barbecue sauce. We're going to have a little olive oil here. As with most things, we start with onion, and we add a little bit of garlic. That sweats down pretty quickly if you preheat your pan a little bit. And once that's sweated down to the point where it's almost charring and caramelizing a little bit, then you're going to add all your other ingredients. So here I have some clove and allspice, and then I have some ginger powder and mustard powder. So that's going to cook down for about 20 minutes. Once all the flavors kind of melt together, then we're going to add our tomato paste to that. Then we're going to add the rest of our sweet components and our liquor components. So we have pomegranate molasses, and it goes great with cranberries. So we add the pomegranate molasses. We also add some American Vermont maple syrup, which is another great component. Adds a lot of good flavor to it. Once again, you cook that for about 5 minutes and just kind of let things melt together as you're adding the flavors, building the flavors. Then we're going to add some vinegar. Vinegar is a very important component to any barbecue sauce. Red wine vinegar and some apple cider vinegar gives that a little kick, a little twang. And I also am going to add some fresh cranberry juice as well. I have some brown sugar here as well. So once that cooks for about 20 minutes and it's simmering away, I'm going to add my dried cranberries first to let them rehydrate. Let that cook for about 10 minutes. When everything starts to melt together and it's starting to look like it's almost perfect, then you're going to add your fresh cranberries to the sauce and let that simmer for about 15-20 minutes again, just to finish and get that strong cranberry sauce flavor. And after everything's cooked, I take it and I just blend it with a hand blender. It gives it like a nice barbecue sauce glaze, as you can see. And then for an extra little kick, here I have some good old American bourbon. I'm going to finish this barbecue sauce with that. That's the barbecue sauce. So that's how I would serve this dish finished. Just glaze it again with the cranberry barbecue sauce. So this last sauce is this kind of quail jus, which goes great with quail, poultry. We're just going to start with some minced shallots and garlic. Once those are sweated down quickly after about 2-3 minutes, we just take some red wine, let the flavors kind of melt together. And then what we have here is some quail jus, which is can be used as turkey jus as well. So once the wine's reduced down to al sec, or almost dry, we add the quail jus to that. Right towards the end, we're going to add some cranberries to let the cranberries kind of infuse into the quail jus and have a nice cranberry tart, sweet flavor to it. They're really going to cook for maybe 2 minutes, just so they kind of pop a little bit and they give their flavor to the jus, and then the jus goes inside the cranberry. So that's ready to go. Then we're going to serve this dish with a roasted quail. Thanks for watching. These are our 3 alternative cranberry sauces here at Boulud Sud.